GM. What's going on, guys? Welcome to GM Chat. Definitely going to be talking about some cool things going on, but it's probably going to be brief because I want to try to catch Nick's his stream or his space rather. Let me just double check the sound is good on here, and we'll get right into it. Just finishing up some posts, dude. I have not wanted to sleep lately. I just wanted to keep creating, keep coming out here, and putting the shit out there, man. It's been crazy. Like, I'll get into it a little bit, but basically, like, it's just that hunger, that drive to make some shit happen is real. Let's see, just looking at some posts. So we got a guest for Space tomorrow. We've got a guest for the daily stream on Thursday. I've got everything scheduled from here all the way out till Friday for Spaces every night at 9. And if that changes, I'll let you guys know in the timeline ahead of schedule. But what the fuck was I just looking at? Let's see. Let me Let me play this real quick for you guys, and we'll get straight into it. Like I've been doing these are like little commercials, these are ads. There's no real partnership with anybody. It's just stuff that I believe in, stuff that I align myself with, stuff that I can share on here and talk to you guys about. Like it's like it's the back of my hand. So first things first, let's go ahead and drop this one, and we'll get right into the intro. You guys hear me? I didn't hear anything from that clip right there. I just want to double check that the volume's good, and then I will get right into this. Oop. All right, yeah, we're good to go. Little technical difficulties, but that's all taken care of. But welcome back, guys. GM. This is the morning stream. This one isn't as long typically as the daily stream. But what's good? Welcome back to GM Chat. I'm SMS. This is your daily dose of crypto news, mindset, and Web3 updates. Just kind of getting your day started. If you got some coffee, go ahead and grab it. Cheers to y'all. And let me go ahead and adjust this just a hair. We should be good to go after that. All right. So, as most of you guys know, when I start these streams, I like to get everybody kind of on the same mindset and kind of just get the mental thinking the same way, focused. And it also gets people that don't want to listen to it, aren't here for it. They leave pretty quickly. But the thing about this is most of us can relate to most of the things to talk about first and foremost. It's not always about money. It's not always about the failure or success or the journey. It's about getting your mind right. Because if your mind's not right, you're not going to get to where you need to be. That's something that we all struggle with. And personally, it takes me, I'm one of those people that has to typically I've learned things the hard way. Recently it was one of those things where I kept trying. And I felt like I was getting nowhere, but in all reality, it's just getting you ready for that next step. So your failure isn't final. It's part of your journey, and it matters as much as your success does. How else would you grow? One of the biggest things that I've learned with myself is I've gotten so close to this point so many different times and so many different things, whether it was skateboarding, whether it was graffiti art, whether it was sports, whether it was competing in kickboxing. Like, I got so close, and then I did the thing that was comfortable. Like, as much as I don't want to say it, it's like, there's a saying from Marvin Hagler that it's hard to wake up in silky sheets. And what that means is, like, when you're comfortable, when you get to that point, when you find success, it's like, it's harder to be as hungry as you were before. But when you consistently are getting to the point where you're getting close, and you just can't get over that hurdle, it's because you're not ready. It's not, you're not ready to get there. Like I've had points where I've had, 5 figures in one trade. That for me, somebody that was unheard of in my life. I don't think anybody in my family has done something like that in the course of the time that I was able to do that. But I used that to kind of go through the next few months, and ultimately ended up having to get another job and going back to where I started from. And that was one of those things. It's like, hey man, you're not ready. Like you're just not mentally mature enough and financially ready for that kind of thing. I heard this quote from Jay Shep. He was the founder of Wolf Capital a couple years ago, or maybe back right before the bull market really took off. He was like, there's going to be a lot of people that make a lot of money and they're not going to know what to do with it, and they're going to be right back where they started from. And that motherfucker was right, because I'm one of those people. But the thing is, I'm not exactly where I started from. I'm here now, but I've got all this experience. I've had all of these wins, these losses, these things that people kind of characterize, and they help profile who they are. But those aren't the things that define your character. Your character is getting back up, trying again, and trying to find out another way. And sometimes it's being accountable. One of the biggest things for me was being accountable with my decision making. The little bit of spending here, a little bit of spending there. There's little things like that. Not as much as comfort, but like, I just wanted to smoke weed, something stupid like that. But if you're doing that every single month, and then you find yourself at like, oh, I got to sell this for this, and you don't want to tap into that. Well, if you just didn't smoke the fucking weed, you would have that. And I know it's not, changing your life, or it's not one of those gateway things. Unless it is, that's a personal problem. You probably got to deal with that. But one of those things of just doing the convenient thing. It's like, okay, I got some extra money. Why don't I buy an ounce or something like that? I know it's silly, but it comes back to me. How many of those ounces did you buy? Did you need all of them? Were they there because you're celebrating? Were they there because you just wanted to get through the day or whatever? Were you facing the problem that you had? Most of the times it's a no. Most times it's, you're doing it because you want to feel comfortable, and you remember what it was like, regardless of what it was, whatever your vice is, whether it's a pack of cigarettes. I don't fucking care, to be honest with you. The point remains that we always fall back to those comforting things that we find, whether it's, some people out here, they're going through a struggle, but they can go back home, or they're going through a struggle, but they got a full kitchen full of food, or whatever it is. And then there's other people that they don't have that, families turn their back. They said that you're a disappointment. That's where I'm at. I ran into that situation, and it's like, I don't even know what the fucking, what the point was of that being shared with me, but I was like, all right, fine. Keep going down the route you're at, because this is what you want to do. And one of the things was, you have to lose everything to see like how little you actually need to get where you need to be. And it's not those things. It's not the comforting things. It's not having a fallback plan. That fallback plan will leave you getting to that point, and most times you fall back into that comforting routine of things. So it's really imperative that you find failure. Like when you work out, you work till failure. Otherwise, you're just maintaining. You're not growing. You're not getting to that point. It doesn't matter if you're trying to like gain weight or lose weight. When it comes down to that, it doesn't matter what your goal and objective is. If you don't hit a failure point, you're never going to see like, hey, I need to change some shit up. So don't let failure get to your head, man. Don't let it get to your heart. Like it's just one of those things that you got to go through. And once you start to accept that, that's when you start to believe like, all right, this shit is fucking possible. Like the grind gets real sometimes, man. Like, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all, especially when people like just keep clicking. I made it 100x, or you see somebody that's clearly got it made winning, in a lottery. It makes you think like, oh, you got a chance, but in reality, you don't. And those aren't the things that you should be paying attention to. Like those will fuck your head up. I was watching this morning somebody that clearly has no issues with financial situations, winning 100x on something like that online here, and it's like, is it real? One thing I have a question: are these real things? Are these supposed to just be marketing and elude you to think that you could be part of this too? Because as far as I know, statistics show the house typically loses. And if you're one of those people that is betting you're going to win, like, yeah, sure, keep clicking, keep playing, but that sounds like a gambling like mentality. And honestly, like, I don't want to be kind of in that circle of like, oh, we'll gamble this. It's like, I don't know what your backup plan is, and I can't gamble the same way as you do. Like everybody's situation is different. But I really don't think that doing the gambling route is the best way. You're seeing a lot of streamers that do that because they're probably being paid to go online and fucking gamble because they want more addicts on there. And I say it like that because it is a real issue. Like, why do you think there's so much money in pump fund? Why do you think there's so many losers on pump fund? Because they think they're going to get these fucking massive wins and you're not. Like, stats show that you are not going to hit these things. Sure, you can win here or there, but more times than not, you hear people say, I'm down bad, or I ate this fucking stupid ticker, or, I watch pump fund for the news to see what's coming out. And it's like, bro, if you would have just bought Bitcoin every single time instead of a meme coin, you'd probably be better off. You wouldn't have the crazy X's and, the gains that some of these people talk about. But we saw Max, the chick that has the lime green shit and 2 X's in her name. She vibe coded a fake wallet and fake fucking P&L, and she's not the only one doing that, guys. Like, she showed you exactly how you can do that yourself. So it's, take some of this stuff as fiction. Like, just know that it's just a show because they're trying to get you involved. They want your money at the end of the fucking day. Like, who are we lying to? That they are trying to sell you a product or a service and they want your money. And if it's not something that you can just see and be like, oh, I like this, they need to get you attached and thinking that it's going to win. So you get somebody that's popular on X that doesn't really leave the X atmosphere, knowing that people are going to tune into this, and then you're going to add the glitz and glamour to that, and then you put a bunch of X's next to it, and you put a bunch of money next to it, you put a bunch of lights, you put all these things in there. It starts to sound like mainstream media, right? Because that's what they're going for. The thing about that is it's going to put a lot more people in a losing category than a winning category. You can argue if you want, man, but like, the numbers don't lie. Before we get into anything else, guys, I want to play this for you real quick and shout out to Faucet. You guys are going to see this. It's our, it's my next guest on Solana Chillin'. So let's take a look at this, and there's something at the end as well. All right. I don't know why I can't hear this shit coming back on here. This is different. But hey, as long as you guys can hear me, we're good to go. But that was Faucet. We're going to have them on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Is that tomorrow? Yeah. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking with them about bringing commerce to crypto. And basically, I think the way that we kind of were talking about it was like a Web3 Shopify type of thing. Very interested in that conversation. Excited to talk with them more. Jumped into their Discord and I was able to listen in and see kind of what they're building and what they got going on. So we will definitely touch on that. And if you guys are interested in that, there is a post that I put out. Let's see, maybe I can reshare it for you guys, but it has all the links to spaces and stuff like that. I'm going to do a little bit more of a formal post regarding this with some info. Let's see where we're at. Bring this over here. Share some screen so you guys see what I got. Boom. 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 All right. This is the post right here. So Solana Chillin'. I know I went with Simply Chillin' and just trying to change the names up. All of these are names I used before, trying to see what fits. I have no problem with that. It's not like anybody's telling me what to do or what not to do. It's still gonna rock out. But every night at 9, unless otherwise posted, a special guest this Wednesday, we have Faucet Official, where crypto meets commerce, actively reaching out for projects, protocols, people that bring value to the space, whether you have a podcast or, a space or whatever you're doing. If you organize something, you want to come on and you want to share it, you want to talk about it, definitely hit me up and let's schedule something to get you on this platform. If it's something I align with, maybe we can work a little bit more in depth with it. But more than anything, come catch a vibe and get some value with Solana Made Simple. And shout out to the famous Fox Federation. I was messing around with Chat GPT, hooking this up. Got a nice little plaid Solana shirt on here and a Jupiter shirt. And IRL, like I actually do want to get this whole setup. So when I go to these events and stuff like that, I can be rocking out. But again, all of the links are down here for Solana Chilling. And I was going to do every single day, Monday through Monday, like even the weekends. But I'm just going to keep it to the week and probably rock out on the weekends, just kind of see how things are going. But like I said, if you want to join in or if you have something you want to talk about, hit me up. Maybe we can schedule something and get you on board with some of these, but definitely tune in. Last night was a small show, and I understand that, you have to start from the ground up and you have to rebuild this whole thing. It is a pain in the ass sometimes, but I'm going to sit in there and if I get one or two people to talk to, I'll start yapping and getting this thing going. One of the things I've learned is it's not a reciprocating factor when you're supporting other people, and you can't look at it like that. You got to look at it like you're doing something for yourself. And again, it's not a failure. That's just something you got to learn along the way. Like, you got to bring people on. They're not always going to give back. And no matter how many times that you put them, on your platform, make sure that you're doing this shit for you, and you don't let that get to you too much. It's whether it's personal or not, it's not your shit to worry about. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, we got all of those links, and let me take a look at this right here. So, shout out to DD Gaming Labs. Talk with Dean. Got an update coming. I shared a little teaser about what that was. I'll see if I can find it on these posts here, but I'm going to be on a call with him, hopefully in the next hour or so. Talk a little bit about what we got going on, some ideas that I had. Definitely want to keep moving forward with that. Let's see. I'm trying to find this post real quick while I have you here. So I've been talking about Myra Network. I think it's Myra, whichever. But they have this cool thing called Clock, where you can go on there and ask a question, just like you do with ChatGPT and all these other things. But you earn points from it. And these are for yapping and earning on the mind share and all that kind of good stuff. Definitely worth taking a look at. I like it. I think it's fun. And you can earn points from it. So let's see what else. Talk with Ted as well from, what's it called? I guess Flip Cash is what you call it now. And got things squared away. You do have to, buy or pay the $1 fee once you download the app to get things up and running. And then you're able to, send cash and receive cash that way. I really like how they're using the USDC and not just using their coin kin. I think that will change things, but he did ask me, what do I think could implement people to use this, improve it and stuff like that. So I'm going to be talking with you guys more about that and diving into, different aspects of what I like that for, because to be honest with you, that was one of the best ways for me to monetize the content, what I'm doing, and, get people to, show up, bottom line. Here's another one. So this is something I decided to do. I saw this post after the fact, but the other day, this is where it was like, you know what? Let's just do something I've never done. I've never 100% was like, let's just go sober, no drugs, alcohol, nothing like that. I just don't think I've ever done that in my life. Like, I just had things, what I would say is under control, because I'm not in the same categories as some other people, but in all reality is if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I thought about what are the recurring things that seem to come up. And I'm like, well, I know that, smoking weed was something I did steadily. That's the only thing that I know that, I don't think it fucks you up that much, to be honest with you. I think it's just a mental thing that I'm trying to play with myself. But, I would enjoy some beers from time to time. I got no problem with that. Some alcohol. I have no problem with that. It's not like I'm dependent on anything of that nature, but I just decided, I was like, why don't I just keep it 100, drink water, eat what comes out of the ground or that you kill, and keep it like that. It's not the most glamorous meals I'm eating, but it's what I got. And it's going to be part of my story once I get to, where we're headed. But I think the most gangster thing I've ever done is to take accountability and, choose to be sober for a little while. Let my actions, dictate my life, not, the other way around. And that's something I think that will be a catalyst for some big changes. And again, it's not like I was a dependent or anything like this, or it's like I'm fucking doing wild shit. It's just something where I was like, let me really, button this thing up and do the best I can. I think that matters. Yesterday's stream was really good, man. The daily stream touching on a bunch of different stuff. And we're going to get right back to the Zeus Network and the article that was written up by Andrew King, I think his name. I could be wrong about that. But dude, I know it's Andrew for sure. But he has a great article that he put up there. I want to get to the second part of that later on today. And we'll tap into that. And yeah, I don't know where I shared that thing from, but I did. This was a cool post. I saw everything, or I have this, when I saw it, I had this vision. I was like, yo, there's going to be a point where I have an office and I'm going to have this wall up there. I'm going to write this shit on the wall. And like, it's always just around the corner. It's just, I don't know, man. That's just, it hit me. I was like, damn, it is that simple. Like, it is really like that. Right. So I don't know. I like playing games like that with my head and kind of see what we got going on here. I know I saved or shared this thing with Dean. Maybe it's earlier in the day. Let's see. Gotta be in here. I guess nobody knows what pull out means on here. Oh, here it is, right here. So this is a little update from the Scrolly app. You guys heard me talk about this a little bit, but he did some improvements on the user interface, the experience, and all of that, where you're able to do comments and some other things. I think we'll wait for that to be rolled out. Going to try to get him on stream for a one-on-one so you guys can learn a little bit about Dean and his background. I love this motherfucker to death, dude. He believes in me more than I probably believe in myself sometimes, and he's giving me another shot to help him out and work together. And like I said, I applied for the job. He gave me the position, and like I applied for the internship, not even a job. I was like, you know what, maybe this is where I go. And he came back. He was like, dude, we want to keep you, on the team. And I told him, I'm like, look, man, I'm in. I don't think you. Yeah, it's classified. Okay. Like I told him straight up, I was like, dude, I'm all in. I'm willing to struggle as much as I have to, because I think that I'm at that point where I've always got to this point. And it's like, all right, well, go find an IRL job. Go, ask somebody for a little bit of help to get through the situation, or whatever the case is. I found some way to make it a little bit easier, and this time I'm not. And as hard as it's got to get, it's got to get there. And I don't think it's going to be that hard. I think I'm be ready for it when it comes up, but it's definitely something I'm focused on, and something that I see. I talked with, I think her name's Kate. She responded to this one here because I needed some kind of, like, I like the Moonwalk fitness app. I like how it's connected to Bonk, and there's all this. Caitlin Cook right here. I want to talk to her more about it, because I wanted to get something like a Fitbit or a bracelet. I didn't realize that they're already integrated with software, and you can use this, because apparently we're already integrated with the data API for Google Fit, Apple Health, Fitbit, and Garmin. And I realized that on my phone, it does come up on the Apple Health, but I don't have one of the little bracelets. So I'm not going to be fucking running around with a goddamn phone in my hand, or punching or kicking or jumping rope like that. That just gets a little crazy. And especially with the pocket just flopping around, I don't want to do that. I'm a sweaty guy when it comes down to like activity stuff like that too. So I'm not going to, sit there and just strap on this thing and fucking fuck up my phone and all of that. I know I can get a waterproof case. You get the point, though. Not going to get into all of that. I posted this yesterday because it's something I think not many people are talking about. And the more and more I've been learning about the Zeus network, more bullish I am on Bitcoin in general. It dawned on me, what's the most talked about thing in crypto? Fucking Bitcoin, right? But we're chasing meme coins. How stupid does that sound? Like, think about this 10 years down the road. Oh, what were you doing in 2025? Well, I was fucking chasing the casino, buying a bunch of shitters off of Pump Fund, thinking I was gonna 100x and quit my job, yada yada yada. No. If you do this now with Bitcoin, in 10 years, you probably will be able to say, oh yeah, I retired early, I went back to my passion, and I had enough financial stability to do it because I invested into Bitcoin at an early point. Now, Zeus Network is making that possible on Solana. I've been taking all of the scraps I got, basically, like the dust or anything of pretty much no value, burning it and transferring that over to ZBTC. That's the first one-to-one pegged coin on Solana that gives you real from the SPV, the specialized verification process or something like that. I forget exactly how it's broken down. I think I put it in here. But if you watch this video, it'll explain it more. I'm going to be releasing a long form a little bit later this week. I didn't like what I had, so I kind of just scrapped it and put out this short. But like I said, guys, pay attention to Zeus Network, what they got going on, especially Bitcoin. Institutional buying is at an all-time high, at damn near all-time highs of Bitcoin. That should be a huge indicator that you are slowly losing this battle of decentralization, because at some point they're going to own more Bitcoin than all of us, and that's just the honest truth. So really keep that in the back of your head. Like, do I really need to buy this shitter? Am I in a position where I need to make this money right now, or do I have time? Can I average in? Because before you know it, you're going to have DeFi opportunities where your Bitcoin will make more Bitcoin for itself. You have Sol BTC coming out, or BTC Sol coming out. You have Apollo with different DeFi integrations that are going to be set up, where lending, staking, and other things are going to be coming out. And that sure touches on that a little bit. And again, the reason I'm covering this stuff is I got into a call with them. They noticed what I was kind of doing with spaces and streams and stuff like that. And I also noticed, hey, they're doing something that no one else is really attempting to do or successful at doing. And they have some huge milestones that they've been able to tackle. So I would highly, highly consider at least following the main page over there. I have no affiliation with them other than, that one conversation and possibly doing things in the future, just to be completely transparent and straight up with you guys. But I also made this lovely background that's background on my phone, but I thought this would be an amazing case for the Seeker, just because, like, how cool would that be on the back of your phone? Like, I don't know, I like it. Maybe it's a little biased, but we got Shipper in there. You have the SKR token. SKR token is huge for Solana Mobile. Accelerate, obviously, during that event, had to hit it right there. And then you got Seeker, little logo up there as well. I know Solid is doing cases. I don't have any connection with them. I've messaged them a couple of times. They haven't responded. So you're going to move forward on trying to, get attention from somebody that's definitely not playing ball. But they're not the only ones. If they're able to do it, that means that I'm able to do it too. I don't have the same access to things, but like I said, if they're able to do some shit, I know that there's a way that I can get that onto a phone case. And if I can get that onto a Seeker, that'd be awesome. And it won't stop from there. I mean, connecting with the Bonk Artists and Bonk Art Masters, I know that they got their own setup for Solid or whatever it's called, and I like it because you can get rewards from the cases and stuff like that, from what I heard. But it's something I would like to see. Maybe we can do something on our end. I don't want to have to spend $45 on a case when I can create my own and give you a relatively better deal. I probably, I don't know. We'll just think about it like that. I know that there's a way to do this at some point. Yeah, so check it out. I posted this. That's meaningless at this point. What else did I want to share with you guys this morning before we get into some price action, seeing what the charts look like? Did all of that. I guess the main thing, just to highlight one more time, is I think Nick's got a space going on right now. Probably jump into that in a second here, but we're going to be bringing Nick from Gambles over, be hosting him this Thursday for the one-on-one show. These live streams, like I said, are my favorite to record lately, getting to know people, talking to them about their experience, where they're headed, what they've been doing, all of that. But overall, I think that there's a different energy that Nick brings to the table. I really do enjoy, going to the spaces. There's not all the time that I like to just sit in spaces because I want to join the conversation. I want to add to it. He's one of those people that can carry a conversation and bring some energy that you typically don't see, out here. So definitely tap into the homie over here, but we'll be having him live on the one-on-one show this Thursday. Excited about that one. And these are the people cultivating a better space, in my opinion, for Solana from the ground up. It's community is everything. You guys know that. But you need communication and unity for community to actually happen. And that's the biggest thing that I see right here in the space right now, is there's people that preach, I'm so passionate about Solana. I'm all about community, but it's only if they get something. These are the people that you got to show up to their thing for it to be reciprocated. And that's not reciprocation. Reciprocation is going out of your way to, do something for the other person. Especially if they're going out of their way for you. But when you see people that aren't reciprocating over and over and over again, it's like that they're not really here for what they say. It's a bunch of bullshit. And that's the truth about it. I mean, you can argue that if you want to, but how many times do you see people come out of their seat and start going other places unless they're incentivized, unless there's a benefit for them, unless there's a direct, I feel like I'm bigger than I am kind of thing. Typically, I think those people are the ones that have the facade that they're a little bit more successful or further along than they are. But anyway, my point is, pay attention to the people that are reciprocating that effort, and we'll talk more about that. I think me and Nick kind of were going back and forth on a call regarding that, but it's something I wanted to tap into. And on that note, but that's most of the updates as far as me with Solana Made Simple and everything going on with that. Again, DD Gaming Labs is still working with the Scully app, perfecting it, putting it out there, and we're going to be sharing some more, working on some commercials and some content regarding that. But if you guys like what you see, you want to keep following, stay connected. I post on all the different platforms, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, X, or TikTok, all 4 of them. Every single day, I drop at least one short form video. Typically, it's 2 of them. Sometimes we get a little froggy and we do about 3 of them. But since I got all these other things going on at the same exact time, I at least make sure it's 1 video a day. And the numbers, they show up. Might not have these giant spikes every single time from posting a video. But the thing is, if you consistently keep showing up, like these guys that are showing up today, last week, and a month ago, they're only doing it for a reason. And it's not because they want to, make an impact with their content. They're trying to carry over what they have on X. A lot of these guys have these echo chambers where they just go to other platforms, and they also are hiring people to clip their content and post it for them. Everything I do is myself. I don't pay anybody to do the editing. I do all of my editing myself. I don't pay anybody to do recording because it's literally me just sitting in front of a camera or posting it up in some fashion. I don't have that network of people, and honestly, I like doing it all myself. I like having that responsibility and accountability of saying, hey, this is on me. But there are these other guys that are, oh, we should try this other thing. And I don't know. They're just here for the tech or the money. You choose on that end. But when you see them showing up and it's like, this has been here for years. Why are you just doing this now? It's because they're seeing some lucrative incentive to go that direction. But yeah, let's switch gears up just a little bit. Actually, what time? We're at about 40 minutes now. Yeah, you know what? I guess we'll go quickly into the charts and we'll see what we got going on there. Because I do want to jump out of here and catch some of the spaces going on this morning, because we have about 3 hours until the daily stream where we tap back into Zeus Network and liquidity on Bitcoin. Looks like we're maintaining the trend. We haven't deviated from that. Actually bounced exactly where we're at right now, which is pretty good to see. But I did put this parallel channel, little thingy on the board because I wanted to show something I was seeing. Maybe not everybody's seeing this, but you are in a downtrend. You're going to need to see a reversal for this to pick up, or at some point you need to break out of this and continue on that, like that upside. If we don't break here, you're still downtrending. So like, that's why I'm just watching this a little closely. Say what you want, man. But I can rewind the time and show you the exact same thing right here. Well, not really here, but like right here specifically, complete downtrend. And I'm just kind of noticing a similarity there. And I was like, I don't know if this is legit, because you still have this strength all the way right here, but this rejection and these lower highs, that's something that, I tend to pick up on, and I follow that, and I kind of see like, hey, where do you think this is going to go? So let's zoom out. I want to take a look at the 4 hour real quick on Bitcoin and see what, these other charts and these lines look like. I mean, it's not the craziest downtrend, but it is 100% a downtrend. I mean, you can look at since, when was this date? The 21st of May to today, we have not hit that all-time high. We got close, but it rejected. And close is cool, but it's not good enough. Again, these aren't super exact. I definitely am not one of those people that feels the need to like be scientifically precise when I'm trying to show you something that's based off of historical price action and people's mentality. I mean, you could say, oh, this number is the number, and there could be some other people that just think differently, and that's going to change your number. That's just from my experience. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's what I've learned throughout the time, and it seems to hold up. I mean, I put these lines on here, and they work. It's not by chance. Whoa, that's crazy looking. I gotta switch that chart up. All right, that's a little bit better there. So there's the downtrend right there. Do we have any other ones? This one again, slightly downtrend until you had that huge reversal, but you had to take this for the lower highs, and then you eventually broke out of this right there. It took a while for this one too, but I mean, when we saw this hitting 70, was it 2024 in March, about a year and change ago? It took a while for us to see highs, but just keep your eyes on that, guy. Like, here's another example of, with downtrends, unless you get that reversal. I'm not saying we're going down. I don't think that it's the end all be all, but I am watching this right here, especially with what's going on in the world and wars and all of the crazy shit. We are still holding pretty damn good, but just keep in mind that there is a slight downtrend that is forming from the chart here. Worth noting, especially if you're playing perps. Might not work out the way you think it's going to, but it's something, like I said, just keep your eyes on. Let's go ahead and take a look at Solana, and I think we'll wrap it up just after that. We're about 3 more minutes, and we'll wrap it up at 45. And for the record, if you guys are watching, you ever want to join the stream, you can simply just request. I can bring you up. You can be a PFP just like me, or you can show your face and go that route. But you guys are more than welcome. Think about this like a space. You guys can add your 2 cents. You can sit here and farm the background, whatever you need to do. But here's another one. You got a slight downtrend on this one from. This is almost the double top right there, but this is 187 bucks or so, and that's on the 23rd of May, and it's been downtrending ever since. We haven't broke out. We haven't made new highs, except for here. I mean, you did have that reversal, but look at this. This took it even lower than we were before. We did bounce here twice, which is great. We have that upside from the bounce, but if we don't maintain this trend right here, and it looks like it did slightly tap through, it probably could move that down. If we don't maintain this right here, likely going to be coming down a little bit more. Taking a look at the MACD on the 3-hour time or 3-hour chart, you're showing that this is, crossing over the signal line, and you could be going to, a little bit more downside. Seeing this up here at the 50 isn't really too concerning for me when it comes to the relative strength index, but when you creep up to the 60s, 70s, that tells you that you're overbought and it will start to come down. You want to get into this area right here for upside. Like, look at this point, look at this point, look at this point, look at this point. When this sells off and you see this big move being made, this is a signal for you to be like, all right, I'm going to long this, and I'm going to use higher leverage than typical, and it's going to be a short time frame, because 2 or 3 days you could have put this at 50 to 100. Well, I wouldn't say 100. I'm crazy enough to do that sometimes, but you could put this at, like, let's say, this sounds respectable, 30 to 50x leverage on these plays, and you still have a little bit of room for downside. Doesn't mean you won't get liquidated. Doesn't mean there can't be a flash that knocks you the fuck out. There are computers and things that pick up on these things and know exactly where to put these different liquidity points of buying or buys and sells. Like, they know. It's the same as the dark pool when it comes to stocks and options. That's why you get fucked on them, and you're like, everything was set up perfect. How did this not hit? Well, it's not supposed to. It's manufactured to make you lose. Kind of like, you go into a stream and you're seeing people that have plenty of money hitting 100x's all the time. It's like, how the fuck does this happen? Well, maybe they work for them. Maybe they're sponsored by them. Maybe this isn't real. Maybe it's engineered and manufactured to make you believe and see these things. All of these lines up here, guys, are just where I found a lot of support and resistance. When you see a lot of support and resistance tapping the same line, I call that traffic, a high traffic area, where it's just intersecting patterns. And when you see that over and over and over again, you can kind of base your trading on that if you're doing perps or if you're looking for entries or exits, whatever. This does help out a lot. And it doesn't have to be super perfect. Like, look how this is up a little bit higher. I could move this up. I could change this, that, and another thing. But these are guidelines. These are supposed to just be indicators of the price action, where we're at and where we're going. But we're chilling at $151 right now. Not a bad, price point for Solana. Probably a solid price point for Solana, because I was saying $300 to $500 seems to be the all-time high for this cycle, for this duration, until we hit, a significant bear. you know, bear market, but you had this huge sell-off from the all-time high. You barely got back up 50%. Like if you go from here to here, 50% is right about here. So that's this right there. That's like the retracement you were looking for.